broadcasting with Hungerthon today too, so we're not going to be in studio for a little while. But Pete Dominick, how are you, man?
Hey,
good to see you.
Good to see you too. Been talking to you quite a bit.
We have. There's a lot going on. So we joined you last night, impromptu on Dean Obedella's show.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and Michelangelo Signorelli, and we all are pretty much in agreement that Steve Bannon's got to go.
Mm.
You were the first to say it, and I commend you for that. But I think we're all there now, because I don't think the First Amendment and free speech in this platform really contemplates, or nor can we afford, hate speech. And let me just say this, and I said this last night. What he's done is undermine free speech, because we're losing subscribers. So it's not like more free speech is being heard, less is being heard because people turn off the radio because they don't want to hear him.
I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are.
It's all over Twitter.
Yeah, but who can trust? Could be people just that aren't even subscribers saying they're going to cancel. It's hard to know. It's hard to measure those things. And yeah, on Sunday after I saw you provide a little cover on MSNBC, which was really helpful, I said that whatever I said, I disagreed with them bringing him back. It was a mistake. I can't say the word decision this early in the morning. And he should be canceled. I don't know now. Now I've evolved a little bit just from listeners. I've had conversations here, and the reason only being, Mark, I worry that if we now can't, forget about the interests of the company. If we cancel Steve Bannon, then there is too much truth to the idea that liberals like to squelch the speech we don't like. Now, I think that's ridiculous on its face, because while there are some people, and there's a small movement on campuses and so on, I think that's way overplayed. I think this would play into it a bit, but I'm less worried about that and more than worried about, does he get a bigger platform somewhere else? Did he do this on purpose? Does he hope he gets fired so it makes an even bigger explosion, more people hear him and go to his brand new podcast? Or I worry only about us firing him making it worse in terms of more people hearing him with his new empire where he goes somewhere else. I am so confused on how to counter him and his arguments, because he doesn't take us on directly, obviously. So I just don't know. I hate to see people canceling their subscriptions, and I keep getting emails. I hate it from people I've known. I've gotten to know listeners. I've gotten to know that I've met. It's so painful.
Yeah.
And I feel very defeated by it. I'm really disappointed that we made this decision and that they didn't listen to us when we told them he is a modern-day white supremacist. Oh, he's not. He is. Well, we don't think so. That's maybe your interpretation. The interpretation of the rest of the country is he's got like an 11% approval rating, is that he is a white supremacist and that he fans the flames of. It's sometimes hard to get him on the record saying specifically overt things the way a David Duke would, but he will take the kind of call where people say something horrible. He doesn't push back. His strategy is so effective. His message it resonates with so many people, and we should not be amplifying it. It is fringe, or it used to be. But people make these arguments, Mark. They're convincing. They convince people. They give them a reason to believe whatever they believe. It's not good. It's not a good time in the country, and this guy is the of a modern-day white supremacist movement, an anti-Semitic movement, an anti-woman movement, an anti-American movement, an anti-diversity movement, and we've given him a platform, and it's very hard. And I will say this, and I said it yesterday, we have been told by our bosses, speak your heart. I just spoke my heart. We've been told there's nothing out of bounds. And I've been open and honest with my audience about what I've said internally, not necessarily who, or not specifically what, but I've tried hard, as you have, off the air and on the air. I don't know that canceling him is the best thing. I'm so confused, Mark. I'm so confused. I really am. I'm following your guys' lead as much as I can because
we were following yours. You said it first. We were following yours that he ought to be gotten rid of.
After I sent that tweet, I talked to a whole bunch of smart people that come on my show, constitutional scholars, leaders in the Jewish community, and
what did it? I mean, nobody in the Jewish community wants him around, do they?
No, nobody wants him around. But it's obviously it's the argument about speech. The argument, a private company isn't censoring your speech by canceling your show. I mean, that's freedom of speech is something the government guarantees, right?
And nobody
not a
said
company.
get rid of the Patriot channel. I mean, because that channel exists, and people can have that.
I'm surprised to even hear you say nobody has mentioned that. No, so
right.
Even inserting that, no, I've never heard anyone anywhere say that ever. They don't like the name of the channel. Nobody likes the name of the channel. Why? They're Patriots.
We're not.
The channel
is stupid. The name is stupid, but not channel, but the name is stupid. But the thing is that.
We have Fox News. We have Fox News headlines. We have Sirius Patriot, which has a stable of conservative talkers. They're as good as anybody anywhere. David Webb and Andrew Wilcox specifically, that have been here for a long time, that do great shows that we disagree with vehemently, but they do. They're great. They're very popular shows. They do really well, and they're very supported here at SiriusXM.
Yeah.
What project has David Webb pitched and hasn't gotten approval of? David Webb's like, I want to go up in a plane. I want to take a rocket to the moon. I want to broadcast.
That's him. That
from
is
the moon.
That's him. He's
with
doing that.
Sheriff Clark. So you got to pay for housing for Clark on the moon. Okay, David, fantastic. You got it. What other resources do you need? I might need an extra rocket.
Oh my God.
For food. For me and the sheriff. Could be up there. It's a terrible Webb impression, but the point is, they're very supported, and we are very supported, and we've been supported to speak our minds and say what's in our hearts.
Yeah,
and it is in my. I don't think people should cancel SiriusXM. People are making interesting cases for it, and Twitter and lots of emails to me, which I'm begging for. standupwithpete@gmail.com. And Mark, I just say I'm not saying I'm right. I say this on my show all the time. I'm not saying I'm right. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I'm interested in strong arguments on a number of things. I don't want to give the guy a larger voice. I don't want SiriusXM to be thought of as censoring speech. It's not. We aren't. But I'm a guy who I'll make my argument, but say you're welcome to your interpretation. If your interpretation about our company is that, then that's not good for us.
Yeah.
And I don't. We have so much amazing programming here on this channel, on Progress, on my channel, on Insight, and across the spectrum, Urban View, and so many unique POTUS, so many unique.
Right.
And I know all of these people that work on all of these shows. And I won't pretend to speak for any number of people, but a lot of folks are upset about Bannon. I mean, I had to share a studio with the guy for a year. I saw him every morning. He was always pleasant to me. We made small talk, whatever. But after about a month ago, he was up here, and he walks past me in the hallway. I'd seen him twice.
With a bodyguard?
Yeah, he's got.
What is that about?
He's got these young boys.
Oh,
Cub Scouts. Oh, maybe they weren't with him. They might have been here on the day of the Cub Scout. No, he does. Yes, he has grown men that are security. Of course. He goes everywhere with security. He says he's never going to. Steve Bannon's on the record saying, I never want to fly commercial again. Of course he is. He's one of the most hated people in America. But anyway, he walks past me and he says, let's ask Pete Dominick what happened this time last year. It was around the beginning of November, election time. Let's ask Pete Dominick what happened this time last year. I bit my tongue. You know why? Because I work here. And obviously I'm not biting my tongue on the air here about anything I feel. Right. And I've told that story a number of times. But it sucked. It sucked for him to take a shot like that. I thought it was coming from him. It was just like such a dagger. He really got me. Nobody gets me. You know that. I mean, you might get me, but I'm firing back. I just
so
didn't.
He said what was going on this time last year.
He goes, let's ask Pete Dominick what happened this time last year, referring to the election.
This wasn't on the air?
No, just in the hallway. Okay. Just in the hallway.
Does he know you?
Yeah, I mean, we said hi to each other every morning. Like, we shared a studio, and he's done it at 9, and I was starting at 9.
I want to go back to something you said about liberals being accused of squelching.
Yes. Go ahead.
I've never heard that. As a matter of fact, the ACLU is considered a liberal organization.
Now, the idea, the campus argument on campus, it's all liberal kids that try to stop these speakers, and sometimes they do.
Well,
specifically, that's the argument that's made over and over, and I think there's some truth to that.
But it's just been made in the past year when you've had the likes of Yiannopoulos and Coulter on these campuses, and the reason people are reacting that way is the same reason we're reacting. This is not a question of free speech or intellectual argument. This is a question of hate speech.
My institute, my company, welcoming, sponsoring.
Well, no, I mean, just even on the campus. It's a question of hate speech inciting violence and hatred. So, fine. Would you rather be accused of squelching, which is false because you're not, or would you rather be accused of saying things about people that ends up leaving them dead, oppressed, and discriminated against? So somebody can say, well, Mark, you want to stop Bannon. No, I want to stop Bannon from advocating harm against people who look like me.
Right. And if he does that on the air, by the way, that's why listeners should listen to that show.
He already has. He's doing.
Let him do it after we brought him back. Let him. I bet he's a little more careful. You know what the interesting thing about Bannon was?
What?
I saw him every morning for a year, and nobody in the mainstream in most of America knew who he was. The far right, people who listen to conservative media knew who he was. But the vast majority, and it was interesting for me, having seen him every day, watch him gain power and watch him gain I'll call it infamy. I was like, that's the guy I saw every day. I knew him. Most people didn't know him. So now that everybody knows him, now he's back here and he's talking. If he let him say things here now that we've made a big deal bringing him back that frankly cross our company policy, that if you or I said them, we'd be fired for. Let him say those things and let us hold our bosses and our company responsible for the standard they would hold us responsible for.
Now, does that to you not only include his speech, but some of those racist headlines and stories in Breitbart? I mean, this is Breitbart Radio now.
I don't know what our standard is on racism, because there's plenty of things people that say all the way across SiriusXM that could be interpreted as racist. So I don't know what we do on that. I mean, in the past, who have we fired for things they said? Anthony Cumia, who was fired for things he said on Twitter, by the way, which were
on his personal account.
But other than that, can't tell me people haven't come on any number of channels and said things that people would say are the equivalent of racism, and
again, the difference is this: he's leading a white supremacist movement. Now, it's bad when anybody says it, but some individual, a DJ who says something that's racist is one thing.
Right.
But someone who is the leader of a white supremacist alt-right movement openly encourages it and brags about it. I mean, come on.
What's our standard? Is our standard different for him because that's...
Whose standard? The company or yours and mine?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's is different. The company's is obviously different than yours and mine.
Okay.
Because he's here.
And we have right and we have a right to disagree with the company.
They've encouraged us to. I think that's pretty
not
clear.
Exactly.
No?
They've encouraged us to fight for people to support our platform more if they don't like Bannon.
I'm not.
But I don't think the company, frankly, is happy that we're saying he got to go.
Oh,
I get that. So you didn't know that before you said it. So you want to take it back now because you don't want to?
No, because I was the first one to say it. But I already have taken it back, but not because of anything that anybody here
take it back. Don't take it back.
has said. I said I'm confused, and the only reason forget about the company. I'm worried about him getting a larger platform and us and looking like I am, Mark, concerned about him being a martyr. So I think the way forward right now is to watch him every second.
Okay.
And then have a reason to say, so we can all go, he just said this. If we said that, you'd fire us. And we're not leaders of movements. We didn't work in the White House. Like if I said that, I'd be canned.
Well, not only, but listen, I think we take a cue from listeners whom we're somewhat accountable to consumers and to the public at large. And if you've got even businesses, 3,600 advertisers have taken their ads off of Breitbart.com. So even from that perspective, it didn't make sense for SiriusXM to do this. Probably didn't know that when they thought about it. So what if the movement to get advertisers off of Breitbart.com. What if that same movement decides to say, you know what? We want you advertisers to withdraw from SiriusXM.
Yeah.
That's just reckless. I mean, so when you make a decision about giving somebody like that a platform, you got to think about that. 3,600 advertisers have said they no longer want to be on Breitbart.com.
It puts us in a hard spot. You know, it's like, listen, this is a really. I'm sitting here overthinking every comment I make.
Well,
because this puts us in a hard spot, this whole situation. We have been speaking and encouraged to speak out against what we perceive as any kind of oppression or discrimination or racism or any of these things. That's what we do.
Yeah.
It's what you've been doing your entire life. That you and Mike are civil rights leaders, and the rest of us are your followers. And so then when our employer, which has always supported us to do this, makes a move, this is the first. I mean, we're the company that hired Howard Stern.
Yeah.
So it is.
And I hear he's not very happy about this either.
I haven't heard.
I'm telling you what's going to happen.
But
if he goes publicly and says he doesn't want it, and if Paul McCartney says I'm taking the Beatles chant off, he'll be gone. What?
Well,
I'm just being real with you.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a for-profit company. I think they have to be concerned. I think we are concerned. I hope you are.
But we don't want you all to cancel your subscriptions. Tell your friends not to. See, we're having this kind of conversation. Seth Rogen and everybody else, y'all come on this show and say, he's on, what's he talking about right now? We're supposed to be monitoring him. He's on the air right now. He said woke a bunch of times. Did we get that? Yeah. Y'all listen to this. This is get woke. This is what he said yesterday morning. We got it? Here we go. Y'all take a listen to this right here. This is what he said on air yesterday morning.
Where?
Okay. You got to turn. Is my computer up? Okay. Okay, yeah. He's talking about woke. So here's the thing. We do not want people to cancel your subscriptions.
Cuck? Snowflake?
we don't want
I think it's idiotic to cancel your subscription. I don't even know what the financial arrangement is with SiriusXM and Breitbart, whatever that is.
I know what it is, but I don't know if I can legally say it out loud.
You probably should. But
I can say this so circumspectly.
Mm-hmm.
People think his money, your money is not going to him per se. So let me just put it that way. And maybe more can be disclosed later, but let me just put it this way. Folks think that billions of dollars are going to him. No, not exactly. Not really at all.
I don't know. I have no idea about that, but I mean.
That's my understanding. Folks, he's on right now. Before he went on the air, opposite me. He's opposite me right now. Before he went on the air opposite me, my threshold was low, Brittany. All I had to do every day was to do a better show than Pete Dominick, and that was easy. Now, I'm in direct competition with the alt-right, and we got to, raise the bar and fight even harder. So we invite you to do it.
Yeah, you got to counter everything that he's saying, and that's the problem. That's the challenge, I should say.
We got the lighting straight. Last time we here, you was too much light on you, and your forehead was really washed out.
Were people upset about that?
Yeah, it was really washed out.
Are they not upset about just your face in general? Brittany.
Why is she laughing at that?
Brittany.
And when I say something, when I say something about you, she didn't laugh. But when you say something about me, she just cracks up.
I'm a professional stand-up comedian. Buy my new album, by the way, Pete Dominick Live. That's what I was promoting last time I was here. By the way, where can I get one of those Why Hunger sweatshirts? That is nice.
When you bid, are you going to bid to sit in studio? The proceeds go to Why Hunger.
Yeah, but you're bidding? They're bidding to sit in studio with me.
They're big. Don't bid to sit in studio. Listen, y'all. Do not bid to sit in studio with him. Sit in studio with me. I tell you, no, that's right, because it's for Why Hunger. It's a good cause.
Oh, do you guys have a full buffet? Do you have a full buffet when they come in studio?
Yeah. Bid on him.
You do? Because it sounded like you hadn't thought about it.
There's enough to go around. As much money as we can to Hungathon, as much money as we can to Why Hunger. Bid to sit in studio with Pete. Bid to sit in studio with me.
Do you have open bar at if they win?
You don't have open bar at your thing. Don't even try.
I don't. I was just wondering if you did, because I'd bid to be in here again. I bid to actually appear on the program this morning. Thank you. I was told I would get a Why Hunger sweatshirt.
So how many kids you have?
2, 10 and 12 daughters.
There was one video you posted on Instagram with the daughter in the car.
Yeah.
That was adorable.
Yeah, there's a pretty well-known Christmas carol called Dominick the Donkey. I forget the name of the artist. And my last name is Dominick.
Do you know that? I never heard it before.
And my last name is Dominick. And so people have always...
Different cultures. I never heard Dominick the Donkey.
You don't listen to Christmas carols?
I've never heard Dominick the Donkey.
You don't listen to SiriusXM holiday traditions?
I'm black.
You're black?
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Ain't no
I'm going to head over to Breitbart.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell him I'm no longer woke.
He's playing
Asleep.
it.
Dominick the
on the
donkey. So my
string.
last name is Dominick.
Yeah, I know what it is because he sang it
Yeah.
in the car. It was adorable.
Well, maybe
You and your daughter-
listeners don't know.
Does your
My daughter's last name is also Dominick. She took my name. So
I get it, Dominic as in Peter. But let me ask you this question. Do your daughters want to follow in your footsteps in terms of... Because I saw something in her. It looks like she might want to do a little something.
My oldest daughter is an actress, a
Yeah,
writer,
okay. I got it.
a director.
I figured that. I saw
and
something
my
there.
younger one
Something's going on. She's going to
is
surpass you.
a thief. No, my younger one is like mischievous and really funny. Yeah, it's
Your oldest
I'm
one is
worried
going to
about
surpass
that.
you.
Yeah, she was in
She already has, really.
just wrapped the Nutcracker, year 6. Very talented dancer, singer, actress, writer.
She's better than you.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Shall I say that?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll actually share this audio with her. Say, Ava, you're better than your father.
Share the video.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter.
She also made a commercial for my stand-up CD, basically saying, even if you don't like my dad's comedy, I need to go to college. And it was sincere, and it was funny. Check that out as well.
I bet it was. Well, I mean, and I say it on, my kids are better than me in every way.
And I said, my kids are better than yours. You know, I hate other fathers, I find.
Why?
I just am so judgmental, about everything. But I watch other fathers, other parents, I should say. And I'm like, what are you doing? Where did you learn parenting? Like, I think you should learn it. I think you should study it like a student. You should read books.
Yeah.
There's all different
Get
types of
educated about it, right.
psychology
Right.
and studies and methods.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that. I
don't
didn't just
disagree.
take my own and
I don't disagree with that.
follow the teachings of Dr. Chaim Ganat. That's all I did. Where you just resonate. You say your kid's upset, they're complaining, they were bullied, whatever. You don't, like a lot of men, especially, we want to fix problems. You actually just say, "Oh man, that stinks. That sounds embarrassing. Yeah, I've been there. That is rough. Sorry to hear that." All of a sudden, they feel like they're not alone. This has happened to other people. And then they bounce right back. It's this idea. I use it with many relationships in my life. I had to learn all that. So I watch all these other dads and moms. By the way, when do people start coming into your house to pick up their kid? But if you live in the suburbs, your daughter is at my house. The mother comes in, or the father. They come in. They come and knock on the door.
Rather than
and then
come out your car.
just stay in your car and beep. That's what you do. That's not broken. That's what our parents did. When I was at my friend
don't want
Chris's
people
house, my
coming
dad
in.
would pull in. He'd say, "Be ready at 4."
You don't want them to come in your house.
No, our daughters are friends. We aren't. I'm busy. I'm in the middle of work. Shaving my back, whatever I'm doing, I can't mowing the lawn, fixing something because that's what I do. I don't have time to talk to you about things forever.
You realize
Someone's going to come in.
You realize-
Some guy came in to pick up his daughter and started arguing with me about climate change because of my solar panels.
You know,
He lives in the basement now.
I fear we've
Say hi to Steve.
We've crossed the line. People are no longer focused on the purpose of this conversation, Bannon. People are kind of focused on you now and your peculiarities. So, but that's okay.
Thought you were shifting gears. I'm just following you.
Pete Dominick, stand up with Pete at noon on SiriusXM.
At 9.
Oh, 9. I'm sorry. Why did I get
As
from 9 to
soon
noon?
as your
I'm sorry.
show is over,
9 to noon. We keep it
they
moving.
should flip over
Keep
to
it
channel
moving. 9 to noon.
121.
121, 9
I have
to
a
noon.
great team of funny people, and we talk about news issues,
No, you're
politics.
great.
Thank
They
you.
do it. Thank
you,
man.
Mark,
Good
for
to see you.
having me.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. President of NAACP will join us now. SiriusXM Progress 127, Resistance Radio. Bounce Bannon. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. This is MIP.